Hello, viewers from all around the world. This is the Melting Pot, and I am your host, Osas. Welcome to the show wherever you are tuning in from America, Asia, Africa, Canada, all over the world. I am happy to have you online today with me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The Melting Pot is a show for immigrants by immigrants. It is Canada's first live online radio talk show for immigrants. On this show, we discuss topical issues that affect the lives of immigrants in a new country, be it social issues, economical issues, cultural issues, work related, environmental, and family related matters. All these issues that affect diasporans in a new country. This is what we discuss on the Melting Pot. You can follow us on all our social media handles on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the Melting Pot on Radio. We are going to open our lines in another 15 minutes for you to call in. The number to call in is 306 564 4961. If you are calling from outside Canada, you can add the country code +1 and add the number 306 564 4961. Today, I am not alone. I am joined by my co-host, who is joining me today all the way from Regina, Canada. And she's a lady
Hi.
with a beautiful smile. Hello, Inches.
Hi, Osas. Hi. How are you
Hi,
today? Good evening,
I
everyone.
am
Thank you for joining us
good.
on the show today. Thank you, Osas, for having me. Thank you. Thank you. How was your
Awesome.
week, though? How's the Sunday going?
Hi, Jess. My week has been so wonderful. It's been so
Yeah?
fun filled. Yeah, I'm pretty much enjoying summer, right?
I
Trying
know,
to make the
right?
best time. Yeah, we're going to make the best use of this period. Yeah,
I
and
know.
summer has been fun because I have family that came in from my other country, my home country, and it's been awesome. It's really great
That's
having family
nice.
around.
I know, right? I know, right? It's like, it ties
Yeah.
a little to our conversation last week. What we talked on the show last
Hmm.
week, when we're talking about things you miss about
Yeah.
home, and then you have your family here. One of the things we heard was like people missed home, and now you're so lucky you have home here. That's nice.
One
Really,
of the
really
things
nice.
I said last week too about that, what I miss about home was that communal relationship, communal
Mm-hmm.
interaction
Mm-hmm.
with your family people. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
now I have it this week. Man, it's awesome. Yeah, in
Yeah,
chess,
you
how's
speak
your
it
week been?
to. Oh, my week has been good, Osas. My week has been good. It's been uneventful, but it's been good. This week
Yeah.
we've had here
Hmm.
in Regina, we have, it's still ongoing. We have the Queen City
Okay.
exhibition. It started like on the 2nd of August. I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's been ongoing. It's been back-to-back live shows.
Mm.
We've had Boys to Men perform yesterday. We had Flow Rider perform yesterday. I caught the Flow Rider show, and it was really good. Um,
I'm sure you
I mean,
enjoyed your time. Yeah.
it continued from Friday, Saturday, and then I think it ends today. Today's the 6th, yeah. So I think today is the last day of the show. But yeah, it's been very good. The highlight of my week so far. Did you catch the news earlier this week? I think it was earlier in the week, last week, where there was news about the separation of our honorable Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on the news from
Oh,
his spouse. I mean, that
yeah.
news has just got me reeling. Like after, like I know they were together for a long time. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I think they've been together for 20 years and married for
mm,
18 or so. Yeah, that's what I
you see,
read.
18 years, no? And what do you
It's a
think would
long
have
time.
happened with that? Like how like
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I'm not married, so I don't know. I'm on the
I
outside
get
looking
you.
in. I want you people like what could happen after 18 years, that you would decide that, I really don't
You
know.
see,
What
a
do you
lot
think
of
happened with
things
that? Can we
affect relationships. Yeah,
yeah?
in my own opinion, a lot of things affect relationships. There are so many things that, you grow old together. Maybe there are some things you get to know one about one another that
Is
makes
it
you maybe
change?
lose
Is it
interest,
is it
maybe
change,
change.
or did our interests move to a different place?
You
We're
know,
not having the same vision. Because I mean, have you seen this Prime Minister or SARS? That guy looks really nice. I don't know. Again, I haven't been married. I'm looking at superficial things. I know
you
it takes
see,
more
in
than.
chess, personally, relationship, it's just more than the facade. It's deep, right? So many
Yeah,
things
I know.
underneath that you can't really even know. The people outside there might not be able to know. And you know what? This thing, one of the important things I notice about separation, relationship breakup, how it affects the kids, right? It has a very
I
strong
know. They're like
impact on the children
collateral damage,
because
right? Oh.
yeah, they're just divided between
Do
the
they have kids?
mom, the dad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they have two
I think
kids,
they have
I
like
know.
three,
Yeah,
two or
they have
three.
two
Like
kids.
a
I
two,
think a
three.
boy and a girl.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Wow.
you know what? As talking about this separation and relationship, it brings us to our discussion of today. In fact, it draws close home because this issue of relationship has strong impact, on immigrants moving from a
Mm,
new
mm.
country to, from your home
Going.
country, a familiar environment to a new country, exposed to so many new things. It brings challenges into a family relationship. So many immigrants also pass through the same thing, and that is why we're talking about this today, because we know communication is key in any relationship.
Really,
Have you ever
I agree.
considered the impact, quality of that relationship on a family, the quality of communication on a family?
The impact
It
of
brings us to this
communication,
topic
right?
today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Agree.
that's very, very important. Quality of your
Really.
communication, how it affects your family and your relationship. So, on this
Mm.
episode, viewers, we want to explore the concept of love language and fight language. This is what we are looking at today: love language and fight language. We have a
Fight
guest
language.
on this show today. We are not alone. On this show, we have an expert, and we're going to introduce our expert after the break. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Hello, viewers. Welcome back to the show. As like I told you, is an author and a relationship expert who is vast in matters that pertain to relationship. Our guest is also a founder of IB's Love Haven. I want you to welcome with me today to the show Bukola Udefiagwan. Hi, Bukola. Hello.
Hi,
How are you today?
Bukola.
Welcome to
Welcome
the
to the
No,
show.
show.
I'm
Welcome,
doing great.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so good to be here. It's so good to be here. Although this week has been so eventful for me, a lot has been going on the media, with our Prime Minister too, right?
I
That
right.
honorable
Yeah.
person.
See, that story is giving
And
me shivers. Yes.
yeah, and I also saw another news today. A man who mothered his wife and the side chick is
No,
pregnant. It's a
no
lot.
way. Big drama.
And honestly, it's been crazy. But anyways, we are here today. Let's
It's
talk about
sad.
this. I'm in for it. And this is a great show. I must commend you guys for putting this together. Thank you so much, because I know that people are gonna be getting enriched on this show in terms of relationships and marriages. So thank you so much. I'm in for it. Let's bring it on. I know a lot of people are listening right now. Probably they want to learn, especially immigrants, moving from one geographical location to another geographical location. It affects relationships and marriages a lot.
Yeah.
And I get this. I
Yeah.
get this every day. Yes, I get
Yeah.
this every day.
Yeah, because I just
Yeah.
hold on a bit.
Mhm.
I know you have so much to say. You have a lot to say, and we are going to give you enough room. Please, I want to remind our
Mhm.
viewers, we are desperate. We are interested to hear from you. We want to hear your comments, your experiences, share your ideas about this topic. How do immigrants experience love language and fight language? What are
My
the
first question.
the modalities affects immigrants in this situation? But remember to call us on these numbers. You can put a +1 if you're calling in from outside Canada. The numbers are 306 564 4961. Remember to share, like, and follow us on all our social media handles on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. We are at the Melting Pot on Radio. So, Bukola, over to you. It's
Yes.
very funny and interesting. I really will start with the definition. What is love language?
What
What
is
can you
love?
say,
That was
like
my
a
first
relationship
question.
expert that you are? Yeah. What is love
Love
Well,
language?
language and fight
I would
language.
just fight language, right? In a simpler, in a simpler form, I would tell you that it's just the way that a partner would love to express love and also get love in return. It's just what you want and what you're expecting from your partner. In this situation, we're talking about relationship and marriages, but then in platonic relationships too, you do want some things in return, right? You do want some things in return from friends, from family. When you're giving love, you're expecting love in return. So a love
Oh,
language is just, it's just the way you want to give love and the way you want to receive love, or the ways that you would appreciate most. The way you want to receive love. And fight language is just the way you just want to fight back. You do something to me, and I just want to take revenge. I just want to hurt you so badly. And sometimes we do this thing. Not on purpose. You do it because you just want to do it, right? And in that context, you're hurting your partner, and sometimes you're not getting love in return because you're fighting back. And even when the person is even speaking love to you, you're not accepting it because you've got fear in you, and you have a lot of things that you're battling with. You have a lot of things that you're not really happy with. So this love and fight language, it's not a map. It's not something that we just go straight, like this is a map that we have to follow. But anyways, as we're moving on, I think people would get more insight to what we're trying to say. But at this point, love language is the way you want to give love, and the want you want love in return. And fight language is just the way you just want to hit them so bad if they do anything to you, and just want to give it to them, like, get it. This is what I'm saying. So those are the two definitions that I would give at this time.
Awesome.
yes. I guess you have
Yeah.
something to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to know. You were saying earlier, like love language is how you give love, and fight language is like when you hit below the belt. Well, like, how do you yourself, if you are a receiver of someone who a love language is being expressed to, how do you understand how do you identify your own love language? How do you know like what your partner is doing? how do you understand what you need? Like, I know what I want. For example, say my love language is money, and my partner, for example, keeps showing me maybe acts of service. Do you understand? How do you marry this? What do you do? How do you try to get your partner to know that, I mean, I like this love language you're expressing, but maybe it's not my language, right? Or do you just
Yeah.
keep quiet and say, because you don't want to hurt the other person's feelings, and you're like, okay, this is the best they can
Yeah.
do, and you just keep, denying yourself the love that, or the language that that you understand, just
You
because you want to make it.
appreciate,
I mean,
yeah.
are there ways that you can go about it? Is there like a middle ground here?
Okay. Okay. You know what? By default, we all know what we want. By default, we have things that actually excite us. And that is why some people, they are so deep into material things when it comes to relationship and marriages. They neglect so many things and just jump on material things. By default, they want, they want gifts, they want money, like you said, right?
I know,
But
right?
then, yes. But then, giving your partner what they want is not something that is coming naturally. It's something that you have to learn. It's something that you have to be open to. It's something that you have to be intentional about. It's something that you have to do. Like, I just want to get it right. You understand? So what you receive is by default. You know it, right? But what you're given is something that you have to be, open to. Like, I just want to learn. I just want to please my partner. So, like you said, my sister, sometimes love language is just what you, the simplest way that anyone can come around you and show you love. It could be acts of service. Sometimes I love money, of
Great.
course. We all love money, right? We all love money, right? But then I would embrace acts of service. I will embrace availability, time, spending time with me over every other signs or every other love language, right? So it's
Now,
it's it's
Bukola, I would
something that
like you
comes to
to
you
just,
naturally.
sorry to interrupt you there. Yeah, I
That's
really
okay.
I'm excited about what you are saying and what you are teaching us,
Yeah.
because we're all learning. In fact, viewers, please
Yes.
take your pen and your paper and write some notes, because
Right,
these things are real. I
nuggets,
mean,
our
you have a
wisdom
lot to learn.
nuggets.
Yeah, wisdom nuggets from Bukola. Bukola, I
Exactly.
know that there are some. I read books and I've listened at seminars or programs or listened to some talks on these issues, and I've learned there are like some number of ways, types of love languages, and maybe types of
Yeah.
fight languages, which apparently should be like opposites of love language. Maybe like, can you really list for us the types of love
Um,
languages? Because, yeah.
For love languages, I would tell you that it's not opposite of fight language. It's not.
Oh,
It's not. It's completely different. Other people would
really?
think it's opposite of this, opposite of that. Yeah, I'm going to give some. It's not. Trust me. For love languages, we have words of affirmation. Affirmation. You're beautiful. Thank you. You're doing great, even though you're not 90% where I want you to be. When your partner is in doubt, you're always coming to reassure them that no, we are in this together. We're going together, no matter what. We're going to weather everything together. Don't worry, I'm here for you. You're this, you're that. When they do this, you appreciate them, and everybody love compliments. Everyone wants to be complimented, and the other time is quality time, and this affects us a lot. You talked about truth the other time, and I was listening. I was like, no, they just grew apart, and you can grow apart in
Really?
relationship and in marriages. Yes,
Exactly.
quality time. Sometimes we think, oh no, I mean, she should understand. Like, I'm doing my PhD, she should understand. We just relocated. She should understand. There is no time for all those things. But I tell people, when you were still at that university level and doing your program, you were seeing Bobo and you were still studying, right? And you made it to the level of marriage. So why can't you be intentional about your quality time? That's time. Let's talk about about physical touch, where we talk about kissing, loving, pushing. I'm so sorry, I say this a lot. Oh my goodness. When you come to my platform, I talk about this a lot because I know what it means. I know how that thing I know how that thing affects us as human, especially when we're going through some turbulence, not necessarily about the marriage. It could just be about your life. It could just be about your kids. It could even be about your education, your career, right? I know how important those things are. And the other one is act of service. Now, this act of service is a major one because our African guys, they are not so used to this act of service. That's the truth. But leaving Nigeria and coming down to this part of the world, excuse me, my brother, you need to start doing that because we want you. We can't do it alone. Your money at this time cannot fix it. And that is why I said, moving from one place to another place, your love language can easily change. That's another thing. It can easily,
Really?
yes. When you're back home in Nigeria, your love language could be money. It could be just give me money and I'll fix it. But now, when you give me money, I can get housemaid, I can get driver, I can get a driver, I can get all of those people to fix some things, and I'm just excited about the money that you bring. But when you come to this part of the world, now we don't have access to driver, we don't have access to we have access to, but can you afford it? How many people can actually afford it? So right now, if you're just dropping money for the monthly rent and you are just buying me few things, I will not appreciate that in this part of the world. Now, my love language is no longer just money. It's changing. That's another thing. So act of service. And now let's talk about receiving gifts. We all love to receive gifts. I love gifts. I love to receive gifts, but then I don't prioritize gifts. I don't prioritize gifts because there are other things that are more valuable than just giving you gifts. Just bring flowers, just bring shoes, just bring, even when we are not actually in a marriage, but I'm getting gifts. No, I prioritize other things other than gifts. But those are the 5 love languages that I will talk about. And let's talk about the 5.
Yeah.
Let me quickly talk about that. The first one.
I think
Bukola, Inches has a question.
Yeah, I have a question, please.
Okay,
so does it mean, sorry, I have a question just to go back before we jump into this. This really caught me. I want to know. So what you're saying is it that when you move, does location affect your love language? Is it that your love language changes? I mean, does it change when you relocate?
Mine changed.
Does the love language change?
Yes, my love language changed. And I'll tell you this because I coach people. I have a platform, like I coach people. I do individual coaching. And most of the people that I deal with, they are immigrants. And when they come to me, I discover that the languages or the things that were working for them back home were no longer working or are no longer working here. So it changes. So I'm not just going to say a yes or a no answer. Yes, it changes, my sister. Back home in Nigeria, and I'm going to use myself as an example. Or do you want us to go on? Then we talk about that later.
Okay, wait, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Could it be that culture changes the dynamics of love language in individuals? Because I know that they say everything is constant except change. You know, things change, people change, things happen. So is it culture that actually causes a difference in the love language? Yeah, in the expression of
I would say no. I would say no. I would say no. And in this, I'm just saying no because this is an immigrant show, right? Back home, if you're still back home in Nigeria or back home in Africa, of course, culture may have a higher effect on whatever languages that was working for your marriage, right? But coming here, I wouldn't say it's still culture because if you bring your culture to this part of the world, I bet you're not going to sustain that marriage, and that is why a lot of people are having problems. So your culture might be working wherever you are, but coming down here, that culture, you might need to tone it down a little bit because a time would come that your partner would no longer be comfortable. I wouldn't use the word comfortable. The stress will be so much on them that they will be forced to like voice out, no, I cannot do this. So,
So,
yes,
with what you're saying, in my opinion, if I get you right, it means culture
yeah,
affects the expression of love language, right? Because when you were in your home country, probably men are supposed to be like, they don't help their wives, maybe in the kitchen, they don't support their wives or their friends,
yeah,
because we are
yeah,
not even talking only
They-
about marriage relationship. We're talking about even cordial relationship. Maybe they don't support their girlfriends, whatever, who their partner in general. But maybe they find themselves in an environment where the culture expresses support. It makes you have to support. You have to give. So that means, to an extent, culture has like affected their mode of expressing their love
the
language,
way
right?
they express their love language, yeah.
I I wouldn't say it's culture. Okay, maybe I
No,
should break.
no,
I
no,
wouldn't say
Dr.
it's
Buka.
culture.
No, Dr.
No,
Buka.
no.
Let me try and say something, please. Let me ask, because this is also, because my
Okay,
question is also similar to what Osas is saying. Please,
okay.
from
So
where we
let's
come,
put it
back
together.
home here in Nigeria, we all
Yes.
know. I mean, we've seen the videos, we've seen the skits where it shows that when your husband is not romantic, you will go and buy the flower and give to and you open the door and you give him the flower and close it, and he opens the door and you're like, oh, I'm surprised. Thank you for giving me flowers, right? Because you have to show them what this love language is. So when imagine a man who doesn't, say you have a partner who doesn't know this, right? And then there is they're
Okay,
doing something
hold
else,
on.
and then they find them.
Sorry, in chairs, I have to interrupt you.
No, it's okay,
Okay, we
Osas.
have a caller. I think we have a caller that
Oh.
is calling. I'm excited about this. Yes,
Oh.
so
Okay.
are we connected? Hello. Hello, can you
Hello.
tell us who you are,
Hello,
your name, and where you are
Oh.
calling from?
Okay.
my name is Izo, and I'm calling from very far away from
Hello,
Hi,
Izo.
Izo. How
Izo,
are you
how are
today?
you?
outside.
Hi,
You guys are
Izo.
doing great job, and
Thank you.
our relationship coach, wonderful responses, wonderful
Thank
responses.
you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
it's so good to see your faces and your smiles. So I have a question and a comment. So I don't know which
Okay.
to take
Okay.
first, the question
Quick,
or the
quick, quick
comment.
one, Izo. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Edmonton.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
I went to
hello,
do my
Thank you.
Edmonton. How is
GCSE.
Hello, Edmonton
Edmonton?
in the building. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. All right. Please
Go
go ahead
All
with
ahead
your
with your
right.
question and
question, I
comment,
guess.
Izo.
So my comment, first of all, is this. I know that in marriage relationship, to show love language and uh, fight language, communication is key. Communication is key. So I remember I was watching, I think it was Michelle Obama one time in one of her interviews, and she made a comment. She said she's not a touchy-feely person, and she had incidences where herself and her spouse were at loggerheads as regards certain issues. And she remember one time she told him that don't give me a hug because it's like maybe the husband is the touchy feely expressive one. Don't give me a hug. Help me with the dishes. So she is more of like acts of
Act of
service,
service.
as you guys call
Service.
it,
Yeah.
while he was more like the expressive
A
type.
physical
So
touch,
in
right?
in cases like
Yeah.
that, I
Yeah.
think communication is key. And I also think that as the marriage progresses, I think our love languages evolve also as the marriage gets older. All that PDA, all those holding of hand, kissing along the road, fire sex, and all that. It might not diminish completely, but it might change. So yeah, so that's one thing. And then my question is this: when you start noticing that your love language is changing, what do you do? Do you go to a counselor or you discuss it with your spouse first and then see where you go from there? So that's my question.
Beautiful.
Thank you,
I'm just gonna
Izo.
go this
Over to
way.
you.
Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you so much. I'm going to tell you this. When the love languages starts changing, uh, that might not necessarily mean that your partner is changing. I have those things that I call beautiful distractions. When we start
Mm-hmm.
praying for kids, we get kids. When we start praying to advance in our career, we get there. When we start praying to have businesses everywhere, we get them, right? And as all of these things starts coming in, there is a possibility that if your love language is quality time, you might not have it the way it used to be. If it
So
used to
what
be
do we
five,
do?
for instance. So what you need to do first of all is, why not engage your partner? You are in this journey together. I want to believe that you're planning your lives together. So if things start changing, then you need to engage your partner. You need to engage your partner and see how to make these things work. You don't necessarily have to start going to a counselor, except if you're struggling. If you're struggling to adjust, if you're struggling to understand, if you're struggling to make things work, then you need to see a counselor or
You
see a
can bring in
coach.
a third
But as
person.
long
Mm.
Yes. So as long as you guys can actually work things together, of course, we are in this journey together. Sometimes our partner, they struggle to understand. But hey, when your partner is, causing some, telling you they're not getting what they used to get from you before, and there's distraction here and there, please give listening here. And if you're finding it difficult to work together, please see a counselor.
Thank you
Oh,
so
okay.
much, Bukola. You have done so wonderfully well following. But I also want to remind our viewers, if you're listening wherever you're listening from, remember the number to call it is, because I know some people might not have taken that number down, +1 306 564 4961. We are waiting for your call and the lines are open. Just dial that number and we are ready to take your call. So, we are talking on the issue of love language and fight language. We
Language.
know a lot of immigrants all over the world, when they move from one location to another, it has a lot of strain on their relationship, maybe with their spouses, if they're married, or with their partners, even if they are not married, if they are cohabiting, they are living together, or they're even living apart. The immigration has an impact. It has a strong impact, but we know communication is key, just like our
Yeah.
guest speaker said. Our guest speaker today is Bukola Udiafiabo. Ude Fiabons. Did I call that
I
right?
forgive you.
You
I
said, you
forgive
said you
you.
can call
I
her
forgive
Yeah, I'm
you.
so
Daisy.
sorry.
It's good.
Ah.
So she's doing
And thank you,
justice to
Uzor, for
this
calling in.
topic.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes, thank you,
All
Zo.
right. So, Bukola,
Yeah.
other questions.
Yeah.
I want to find out. I mean, with our love language, let's diverge to the fight language. What causes fights? What causes our language to become violent? I mean, antagonism towards one another that causes that fight or that disagreement in marriage. I mean, yeah, can you expatiate on that?
Yes, if we default on our love languages, sometimes we just want to fight back. And that was why I told my sister that it's not opposite of each other. Sometimes we want to fight back when there is when we don't have effective communication, when we don't have effective communication in marriage. I always tell people, we talk about communication a lot, but then when do we communicate? How do we communicate? And the person who are we communicating with? So sometimes when the love languages are not really there, or you're having conflict, daily conflict, weekly conflict, monthly conflict in marriages, then we start using all of these anger languages, and that's where we want to start. Then we have so many of them. We have so many of them. Then I will go with righteousness. Righteousness in the sense that you are always right. Whatever you do, you are always right. You're fighting. You're fighting back. I'm right.
Uh,
Whatever you do, I'm not like, excuse me. This is how I want
Mm.
it. So it's
You
no
have to be
longer
right.
about it's no longer about you and I. It's now about me, 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 me. And we have another one, distractions. Those are the distractions that I talked about. You no longer have time, and I can tell you clearly that sometimes our social media right now, it's like we're using it to fight our spouses, because that time
Mm.
that you're supposed to create time for your spouse, now you don't want to talk to them now because you're having something that you're actually harboring in your mind. So because of that, hey, I have a program to watch. Hey, it's melting point, I don't want you to disturb me, right? Or sometimes you just grab your phone. Can't you see I'm busy? Like we're fighting back with our media right now.
Mm.
Justification, assumption, and the big C. We fight with the big C too. We want to control every aspect of that relationship.
Control.
We want to control. We want to
Oh,
control. We want to compare. We want to compare. And I will always tell
eat
people
in
these: the
there.
best way to make your wife hate anybody in your family, just compare your wife with that person. If you want your wife to hate your mother, start comparing her with your mother. So when she's doing something at home, just tell her, my mom was not like this. I bet you.
What?
She was not even
That is a
physically there,
different
but she will
language,
start.
man. That is a different language. You will hear a
I'm
different
telling
language
you,
all the
she will
time, and then
start
you're like, why is
Yeah.
that
fighting
a come
back,
out? You know?
criticism. You're never good enough. That's
Oh,
another way to fight
Exactly.
back. Whatever
oh,
you say,
oh.
no, you're not saying it well. There is no humor again. Maybe sometimes something that you just crack jokes and laugh about. So now, excuse me, you're not making sense to me. Now you criticize at
Mm.
will. Those are the fight language is actually numerous. You cannot break it down. It's on and on and on and on. And remember,
Awesome.
fight language.
Awesome.
Okay, let's keep moving.
We have a
Okay.
Awesome.
caller on the line. I would like to take that call.
Oh, okay.
Our callers are they really excite us. Hello, caller. Can you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, I'm Okikiola, and I'm calling from Saskatchewan.
Woo!
Hi,
Hello,
Okikiola.
Kiki.
Welcome
Yes,
to the show.
yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
You're a
How are
first
you
time
guys
caller,
doing?
right? We're going to give you a
Yes.
Yeah,
kind of
first
We
shout
need
time.
to
out.
get this.
Shout out to our
Yes,
first
we need
time
to get a
caller.
special shout
Hi.
out. First time caller.
Thank you.
Okay, so can you,
Okay.
okay, Akiola, you can
I
go
would just
ahead.
like to. Hello, I would just like to make some contribution to the discussion about love languages. Okay, from my own understanding, I think over time, like change of environment actually affects love language. I don't know, talking from my own case scenario, because back from I'm a Nigerian. Okay, firstly, I'm a Nigerian, and we all know back home, like some things, the way some things apply are quite different from here. So when
Yeah.
everyone gets here, we tend to kind of adjust, see the way things are doing, not even among our community alone, but even among other tribes, other communities. For
Yeah.
example, now, back home, our men might not really be actively involved in chores, and even in maybe supporting, like, okay, now can you just go to get can you go to the store to do the shopping back home,
Make
because
some
back home we
groceries.
had maybe yeah, we had help.
You had
You
like
might have one
domestic help.
cousin, yeah, your domestic help. You have cousins, and you have back home we had people you can actually pay to run your errands. But getting here, like, things are quite different. You need to get even ordinary salt. You still need to drive down to the closest mall or something to get it. It's not like there's a store around the corner or something where you can use. So men tend to, like, maybe say, okay, for us, we had to sit down, because back home my husband was not into the chores. He was more of like, okay, I'll provide money for you to pay your help or whatever. So we had to sit down, kind of have a meeting, and okay, this is where you come in, this is where I would come in. And I think another thing that affects maybe relationship here is if you are not particular about having your marriage work, or maybe your relationship is the kind of maybe should I say work schedule here. The work schedule here is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of, should I say tedious? Should I say, because back home, I think we work 8 hours, right? Most people work 8 hours. Over here, too, it's just about 8 hours, 30 minutes. But is it I don't, do I say here is stressful? You actually work for every dollar you make. So coming back home, for me, I tend to be tired, and someone coming and trying to display affection, that might not really work for me.
May not go
Like,
down, may not be the
I don't know. I
language
just
you want to hear. So, okay, yeah, continue.
Um,
Yeah. So
okay.
I think from
It's fun.
sorry, I'll just from
Okay,
what
Killer.
Okikiola said, I think most of the what she's trying to say is most people here might appreciate more of acts of service over maybe the
And
physical
I think I
attention or
mentioned
attraction.
that. Yeah, yeah. I think I mentioned that at the beginning, that the love language
yeah,
that you
yeah. At the
love back
beginning,
home.
yeah,
Yes, I
yeah.
mentioned
Support,
that too.
yeah.
That
True.
might
Did
not work here.
yeah.
There was something you mentioned, and I really want to touch up on that. In as much as we are coming from one place to another place, I see that a lot of people want to completely abandon their culture, because you mentioned something. You said you see other community doing something. I don't want people doing that. You can make adjustments to how things would work here, but I don't like it when people try to trash their culture and try to completely move from a complete culture to another culture, trying to be behaving like the Indians. No, the Indians, they embrace their culture no matter where these guys are. You will not see them deviate, even though they make adjustments to how things are being done, but they still, they cherish their culture a lot, and that's a major problem that I'm facing right now with a lot of people that I speak with. And I'm sorry, that was why I picked on that. You want to change. You don't want to be the. You don't
Hello.
want to be the
Okikiola is
evil
still on the
girl.
phone. Are you still here
Yeah,
with us?
she probably
Oh,
dropped.
okay.
Hello.
So yeah,
Okiki, are you back? Hello, Okikiola. Okay, do
I
you
think
still
she
have
dropped.
any other question?
Yeah,
Okay, I
I
can't hear
no,
her
like,
Oh,
anymore.
she's there. Yeah.
it's actually, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we
Go
can.
ahead. Yes,
Yes,
we
we
Yeah,
can
can.
it's
hear
Okay,
you.
Killer,
actually
go
not
ahead.
a question. It's actually not a question. I understand. Like, my point when I
Okay.
said we see other community, it's not because we want to copy everything they do, but either you like it or
Yeah.
not. It's either one. If you just close your eyes to the way things will work, then it's either you kill you, and one kills him or herself because of stress. The way things work here are
Yeah.
quite different. So the fact that, okay, when we look at other communities and say, oh, there's support, maybe, okay, I'm not available to go shopping, then my partner picks it up, or maybe someone is supposed to pick. Back home, men don't pick kids at daycare, but over here you see men pick their kid, drop off kid at daycare, because that's just what works here. It's not because the wife is
No,
saying, oh,
so
you need to
that
do
I
this
would
or something.
appreciate if you,
Yeah.
then I would say, if you say adjusting to the reality of the society,
Yeah,
not picking on
adjusting.
community.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes, so
adjusting.
I want
I
to
Yeah,
think
for
that's what
people,
differentiate.
she's
we
trying
Yeah,
to say.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, adjusting.
So
Yeah, adjusting, because for people here,
yeah,
it's a normal thing for them. I think that's their
yeah,
culture. It's not our way of doing things. But coming here, we need to adjust. That's the way marriage can work here. To my own point, you just
yeah,
need to
yeah,
sit yourself down and
yeah,
discuss. Okay, these are things I would do. Then these are things. Then I think there won't be any issue in marriages over petty things. I think so.
yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Okiki. It
you.
was wonderful to hear your
Thank
point of
you.
view, right?
Thank
Because
you.
Thank you
in
so much.
marriages, I realize
Yes.
that there are different dynamics to different homes. So many homes, like even back home, I'm from in Nigeria myself too, but personally, in my own reality, my husband was the type that picks kids from school, he does the chores, he does more cooking than I do, even though we're
Back home.
Africans, right? So I don't really think
Back
it's a
home.
culture. Yes. I remember right from when we got married, I've been married for 18 years by the grace of God. And yeah, and my husband, right from the onset, he's always been doing chores. In fact, he cooks more than I do. And when we moved over
Oh,
to
wow.
Canada, he kept it up. He doesn't change. He cooks more than I do. So you see, the truth
You hit the
is,
jackpot,
I think it's
Oka.
just
You hit the jackpot.
yes, I think I got somebody that was definitely unique. So I'm saying it's I want to say disagree to an extent to say it's a culture, back in Africa, not to assist your family, not to help your wife. I remember when I was
That's
pregnant and my husband, um, I was on mat leave. I was going to just have just a few weeks to my delivery, and I was just okay. I was good. I didn't need bed rest or anything, but he was cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner for me. He would go to work. I
what
was home because I was on a vacation. But he was cooking breakfast, lunch, and
this is
dinner, and
some
he does
serious
it till
shit.
now. Even now, the meals I take to work, he cooks it. He will just like, okay, you're on duty for like 5 days. I'm going to package. I'm going to make, bulk meal for you. Pack them in packs and store them in the
What?
freezer. Just take your pack and go to work. Right. So I think it's just family dynamics. I'm not saying every family should do what my husband does, right? But it's
Women.
just, I don't think it's a cultural thing. I think it's just a
Okay.
personality thing. Yeah,
We
that's my own
enjoy,
perception
mhm,
about it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this. We enjoy
Go ahead.
marriage differently. I don't know if you can
Hmm.
hear me. We
Yes.
Yes, we
enjoy
can.
marriage differently. I say that and I say that. And please, because this is an immigrant show, if you are leaving wherever you're coming from to another country and you're trying to adjust to the reality of that society, please give yourselves time to evolve. That's what a lot of people are not doing, and that's why I have marriages breaking up 3 months after their relocation. And I'm not making this up. I have marriages breaking up 1 month after relocation. I beg of you, please, give yourselves time to evolve. We have people that will change and we have people that it takes by default, they just take longer. So please give yourselves time to evolve. If you have a husband who does not do anything back home in Nigeria, now I'm using Nigeria, right? Now you are in the north. I mean, you are in Canada, and this guy
Or
is
US.
trying now, or US, or in the US, and now this guy is trying to boil water for you. He's graduating from boiling water to probably making white rice. Please give him time to grow. I beg you in the name of God. And if you have your wife, maybe prior to coming down, you were the major, supplier of money, so to say, in that house. Maybe she's probably not contributing. You know how we earn our money, right? Sometimes our money we think is just for our hair, for shoes,
Yes,
for
now.
bags.
Our
Yes,
money is our
and
Ah,
money.
my
yeah,
money is
yeah.
mine, yours is ours.
My
Exactly.
Yeah.
mon- my
And coming
money
to
is
this
my.
part of the world, sometimes you just see it as being strange when you are telling me that now you have to support me with bills. You have to. It takes grace. It takes understanding for you to know that hey, we are no longer in that era where my money is now my money. Everything, please, we have to bring it together to make it work. Please, if your wife is squeezing her face, don't start saying because you have relocated. You have to sit her down. Don't put fight. That's don't start giving her all the fight languages because you want to get back at her. You have to make her understand. That's what a lot of people are not doing. They are not giving each other time to evolve to this to the reality of this society. Please. That's I just want to put that out here. Please. Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome,
So
Bukola.
from
You
Yeah.
have done so great.
Yeah.
Okay, in chess, you
Yeah.
have a question.
no, not really. It's just more like clarity. So I think what I've picked so far, because again, love language, fight language. In my relationships, I've seen more of the love languages, and I get some of the fight languages too. It's something we've had to deal with. It's just now from what I'm hearing today. It's just I'm understanding that society plays a role in readjusting your love language as you evolve. So it changes the personality of who you're with also affects their way of expression of love
Yeah.
language to you. Um, how you receive it. I think ultimately, personally, I would feel like ultimately will boil down to communication. Um, if both parties are able to talk to each other, it's just sometimes it's easier said than done. You can be saying something that is not easy for the other person. I would cite the example of Michelle, like someone had mentioned earlier. Her love language at the time was not a hug, right? But it would take understanding for
Mm.
your spouse or your partner to understand that it's not like what you're doing is wrong. It's just not what you need now. Would that not put your partner off? Because it would look like they are trying, because they are actually trying, right? But you're saying this is not what I want. Does I mean it would discourage me if I was trying to speak a language to my partner and it's like saying, "Oh, this is not what I want." It would hurt me. I'm human. It's my feelings. So what do you do from there? I don't know, but I feel like communication is something that communication can fix. Though this is my take on the love and fight languages. Um,
So
this is
this
how
is
I
an
feel.
Yeah.
immigrant show. I get that, right? This is an immigrant show, and I'm just trying to go back there. A lot of people are actually depressed, and even though we don't love to use that word as Africans, we don't love to use that word. A lot of people are actually depressed. A bank manager back home in Nigeria sold his properties. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm using Nigeria a lot. Sold his properties, relocated to Canada, and now he has to start all over again. Probably start from Walmart. Just saying
Ground
that,
up.
right? You know, and you still want to get the best in the first 6 months, where a grade 12 is now telling him what to do. Remember,
Oh
this
my
guy has worked probably 20 years back home, wherever he's coming from, and is the one giving order. Could you process the Form M? Could you bring this to my table? Could you bring that? And even when he's coming back from work, the table is all set. The food is ready. Probably the house help is saying, "Oh, okay, do you want to do this? Okay, do you want to do that?" Now this guy is coming, you know, to go through all of this. Excuse me, that love language, please turn it down for that, for the first 1 year of your marriage.
God, it down.
Relocating to
So no
another
love language at
society.
all. So
There will be love
Yeah.
language, but
Okay.
no love
I
language
want
at all for the
understanding. I
husband.
want no. There will be love language, but please allow understanding at that moment. Not looking for, you're trying to put your lives together again. This guy is going through a lot. Our
Yeah.
husbands, they don't even have people to talk to. Me, I can easily pick up my phone and just call,
Oh, you're such
hey
a
Sam,
hoe.
hey Sam,
I agree with
hey, did you
you.
see what I
And
experienced
women
today?
socialize very easily than the
That
men.
small girl, she was just telling me rubbish. The way I hide the lady, I just packed
Yeah.
down one corner. You are done with that. But your husband sometimes might not even tell you because of the,
Everything is
can
bottled
you
in.
imagine? It's bottled
Maybe your
in.
man
It's
has to.
depressed. And
Well,
you're wanting love language. Give ourselves time. And I'm sorry I'm emphasizing
yeah,
on this just
patience.
because
Oh,
of the
yeah,
issue that I
correct.
get
Okay.
on a daily basis.
I
Please.
agree.
So
Many
are you
Please.
saying? So
immigrants,
are
they
you?
will.
Please.
What I get from you, okay, sorry, Jess. I know this is a hot topic, honestly.
Yeah.
What I get from you is that we need to be patient. Apart from
Please.
communication, patience on
Please.
both partners, actually, because let's
Please.
not be biased towards one side, right?
Yeah.
We know most times the male partner might be, very stressed. He has so much on his shoulder, his family, and
Yeah.
all that. But sometimes it's on the woman too. She goes through
Mm.
depression. She goes through
The
loneliness.
shores
Never,
aspect, the shore aspect is on the women, is on our
yes.
women. So
So I
yes.
think what I pick from what you say is patience is
Mostly.
key. We should just be patient,
Yes.
walk through one
Patient.
another. We need support.
Yes.
Every
We
family,
do.
I would like to say that migrates from one home country to another,
Yeah.
another place, you find
It's
yourself in a new
not
environment. Give
great.
yourself
Yeah.
maximum support,
Fine.
no matter what you're
Thank
going
you.
through, right? Yeah, I want to
Thank
ask you
you.
a question.
Thank you.
We know
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have different personalities. Let's take this final question because this time I wish we had more time. We can extend this
I
show,
really
but
wish we
right,
do
it's
have more
getting hot
time.
and hot and hot. I'm sure our listeners,
Yeah.
please call in. There is still time to call in. The number is 306 564 4961. If you can't call in, you can please leave a comment in our comment section. Ask your questions in our comment section and you will get answers. Share your experience in our comment section on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. All our social media handles are on the screen. Now, because I want to find out, I said there are different personalities. We know we have sanguines, melancholic, we have cholerics, all these personalities. How does it play out in this love language, fight language? How does your personality influence you to express this thing or receive it? How does it affect you?
It does. It does actually. I should I say I'm a sanguine? Maybe in the middle there, right? Which means
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when we have misunderstanding, in 2, 3 minutes, I want to play again, right? I want to come back and start
Mm-hmm.
laughing. But I have this guy who would tell you, please give me time. And sometimes, give me time. I'm not ready to talk. I'm not ready to play. Is a fight language to some people. To me, you're fighting back. To me, it's like you are hitting me hard. Oh, you want to laugh? No, I won't give you that laugh. So we need to understand this personality. The ideal thing is when you have a misunderstanding with your partner, within even before you go to bed, please try to resolve that, right? And we'll tell you under 24 hours, talk about it. But I'll tell you categorically today that that does not and that will not work with everybody. And please don't push it. That doesn't make your partner a bad person. Sometimes they just want to process. You know how some guys are. As long as they're not packing their load out of the house, you are still under the same roof. Please give them time. Why? Because I have a lot of people coming to me is as a result of we have to talk about it now. It has to be now. Then this guy will start, fighting back. Leave me alone. What is all this rubbish? And before you know it, he will pick up his car key. He wants to leave the house. And sometimes if you're not a disciplined, it's not much staying at home. And if you're not a disciplined wife, you want to hold him, you're not going anywhere. You know what that would result to?
That is messy.
You see,
We need to understand this. I really wish we had more time talking about this. Please, your love language and your fight language, what at that time when you're not talking to me, when you're not ready to talk, is a fight language to me. But to him, it's like, what is all this, right? So we need to understand different personalities
some
when
people
it comes
fight
to
through
love language.
silent
Give us time.
They start giving
Which
their
is not
partner
which is
silent
not
treatment,
good.
keeping
Which
malice.
is not good.
Yeah.
Yes, which is not good. But sometimes, if that will not destroy the marriage, please let them have their one day of silent treatment. If that will give them that peace, if they're going to come back and talk about it. But if you want to fight them and I want to leave the house, maybe the wife too, maybe she's not ready. Honey, please, I just want to be alone. And now you're forcing her. I want us to do fakafiki this night. Come on. I'm still angry. I'm not happy with you. And you want us to do, you know what? I use fakafiki. I'm sorry. I don't want to go crazy here.
No,
right?
I understand
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, so sometimes, yes, you need to understand different personality. And a time would come that you see all this personality will no longer matter. Like Michelle Obama and Obama right now, those guys, they are far, they've grown beyond all of this. They've grown, right? Those guys, you could see that they created time to grow together. They put in that work to be there. A lot of work to be there. So yes, that's all I would say.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Yes.
We're gonna invite you again, Bukola, because you are on fire. I know you have so much to say. And we really appreciate your time with us.
There's still so many places we have to look at.
And immigrants are passing through a lot. Marriages where the police have to even come into the situation. It's really disheartening. It's painful. Everybody likes, like I told in Chess in the beginning of the show, children are affected when children are involved in that marriage. So we would like to wrap up the show at this time. It's really sad for me to go.
Oh my God.
I don't know. It's sad to let Bukala go. But we know that we'd like you to stay tuned to this show because every Sunday at 7 p.m. Saskatoon time, Saskatchewan time, CST, we are online on the first Canadian radio live radio talk show. We are here for immigrants to share experiences, to share our aspirations, to ask questions. Let's have a tete-a-tete. Let's talk. We are just here to gist, to share our ideas and our thoughts. We want you to just stay connected and follow us on our YouTube, like and share. Thank you so much, Bukola. Do you have any final word, Bukola?
Okay, quickly, I'm just going to say
wraps
this.
up our final word. Okay, go ahead. Bukola, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead if you want to say something.
Yeah, Bukola, you have the floor. Final word.
Oh, I have the floor. Okay, I just want to say, at any given point in time in our marriage, I want us to always remember that the whatever is going to work in the for the marriage and in the marriage should not be about you. It should always be about us. I want us to always remember how we started, what we share, and when our partners actually when they are not measuring up to what we want at a particular time, don't jump into I want to leave, don't jump into assumptions. Always look out for your partner, always ask questions, always look at the positivity, the positive side of that partner. And sometimes you just want to use that to judge them at that time, like, you know what, I'm just going to leave you, this is your moment, maybe you're having a time. Please be
Thank.
determined, be intentional, try to create time for each other, and trust me, you will not grow
Okay.
apart.
All right,
Yes,
Awesome.
then.
please.
Now, I would like in chess, can you give us your final word? Two
Just
seconds, if you
my
can do
final
that.
words is simple, man. What I just will take is love language and fight language are not opposites. They are not the opposite of
Yeah.
each other. It's just communication, communication, communication. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All over the world, wherever you're watching us from, we are happy that you connected. You can always continue to stream because this YouTube is still on. You can continue to join us and watch this show every time, anytime. Just click and watch the show. Thank you for joining us today on our topic love language and fight language.
Bye,
Bye
everyone.
for
See
now.
you
Hope to
next
see you soon.
week.
See you next week.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Osas. Bye.
Take care, inches.
Bye.